Hi everyone, and welcome to the channel. "52 degrees right now. This is quite pleasant for this time of the year anyway. But it's too early to celebrate. This may be the calm before the storm. Who knows? Looks like there's something brewing. All right. So here's the thing. This fakery is real, huh? Like, like seriously, this fakery is just like out of control. You want to know why everything feels so fake these days? And that includes most people. Is because there's this whole thing behind it all that's making it actually be a thing. And influencing people in that sense. So let me build some context here so you guys can understand what I'm talking about. Because I talked about fakery in other videos before, right? There is so much of the world that we live in now is fake and feels fake. It's like it's fake narratives, fake ideological ideas, fake ways of thinking and living your life. Fake people, lots of them. And now we're having an entire generation, more than one actually, like the last couple of generations that are being, raised now under this banner because of this technology that we have developed now. Kids are growing up looking at certain things and thinking that this is normal. And the amount of damage that this does to a person's brain, psychology, and ways of thinking, and then as a result, ways of living their lives, it's unfathomable. Like I don't know how else to say it. I saw this a while ago. Wasn't that long ago, and I thought it was interesting. So let's talk about this. Did you know that the women in China right now they're freaking out because apparently the Chinese government this month, I don't know if it already happened or if it's about to happen anytime now, but it was going to be a thing this month. The Chinese government is banning these facial um, facial beauty filter apps that everybody uses. And I wasn't aware that almost every single female out there these days uses these things for their social media and stuff. And then when it comes down to people that are like, let's say, content creators themselves, and the streamers, because that's huge in China, right? You have all these Chinese streamers, the female ones. They're all losing their minds because now their careers are gonna go because you don't realize how you know some of these people look like nothing that you think what they look like, because these filters, they completely change the way a person looks in real life. They rebuild all of your face, your eyes, your nose, the way your skin looks, all of this stuff. It's all fake. The whole thing is fake. It's as fake as it gets. And like I said, they have done research on these things, how what it does to men when men start seeing these women through these face filters. And then, and then, especially young men, you know, they they're gonna think. Hopefully, not all of them are gonna think that, but there is gonna be a percentage of these men that they're gonna think that that's what all women look like, and it couldn't be further from the truth. There's no way in hell. And then what it does to women themselves, because they people who use these things, they have so much insecurity and lack of self-esteem, self-worth, self-love, self-value, self-everything you can name. Because if you're using something like that to hide or to enhance, to in some instances is to hide what you really look like. In others, it's just to enhance it to make it look better. It doesn't matter. The point that I'm making is this: you shouldn't be changing, altering the way you look for other people to see, because that's just wrong. What is it? Is it to make you feel better about yourself? Because you like to see an image of yourself that is not the true image of yourself? That you stare at yourself in the mirror every day? And look, I don't care if this video is not going to be popular, okay? You know me, I don't care about these things. What I care about is that the longer I live, the more I see how things like being genuine and authenticity don't mean a thing anymore. Nobody cares about these things. Nobody wants to be authentic. Nobody wants to be genuine. Nobody wants to be themselves. Because people are terrified of that. Of the truth that will come and emerge out of things like this. Most people don't want to face it. Or don't have what it takes to face it. They just don't want to do it. So by all means, keep living in the fakery. You know, if that's what you like, that's what you want. If that's what, what makes you feel good, yeah, I guess. Stay fake. This is some crazy stuff. But what this does to women that use these things is it alters their perspective of themselves. And then you're going to have a huge number of women, and I'm not going to say that this is going to happen to all of them, but there's going to be a good number, a good portion of them, because of how these things influence your psyche and the way your brain operates, that they're going to be thinking that they're like nines and tens when at best they might be a five. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand. What happened to being real, to being raw, to just be yourself and not give a damn what other people think about it? Because what others think about you, what others' perspective, is about you, shouldn't mean a thing to you. That doesn't change anything. On a deeper level, that is irrelevant. And anybody with half a brain and self-worth understands what I am speaking of. And yeah, this video might sound a little ranty, but yeah, I gotta rant sometimes. Jesus, I don't know what else to say. This is crazy. This stuff. They use these apps, this technology, to paint an absolute fake picture of all that there is. And what do you think this is doing to the young people who are growing up seeing this? They're going to perceive these things as the new normal, as the new okay. It's okay to be fake. It's okay to pretend to be something that you're not. It's okay to build an entire image, perhaps even a business model behind the idea that you are someone who doesn't exist, because this is what these applications and this is what this type of technology does. It's bad enough that some of these mobile devices that we have already have some sort of like, filter built into the cameras that are in them themselves. From what I understand, apparently that's a thing with some of these newer phones, which is crazy to me, but whatever floats your boat, I guess, right? But this fakery thing, this fake stuff is just, it's just out of control, guys. This has got to end. Stop giving your energy to these things. Stop letting these things feed off of you, of your vanity, which is a fake vanity. Because if you're having to you know use something like that to make you feel better about yourself, you have to reevaluate yourself. Take a deep look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself the question, what is the point? And I've seen stories, of every once in a while it pops on social media, and I don't look at social media at all. I don't even have any social media, but if you're like browsing YouTube, whatever, sometimes stuff that's not the usual stuff that you watch will pop. And then there's these stories of women that, they had these profiles on whatever, dating app, Tinder. It doesn't matter which one it was. Any matchmaking dating apps that people use these days when they try to date online, whatever. And, that's the other thing. What happened to like real raw encounters with people these days? Being Gen X, to me, this stuff is just weird, man. I gotta tell you, because I lived in a completely different world when I was young. It was totally different than it is today. That's not to say that there wasn't feminism that back then. Yeah, to some extent, but nothing compared to what it is today. So, you have these stories of women, they use these filters for their photos and stuff and their profiles, and then they go on the first date with a guy, and then the minute the guy sees what they really look like, because those filters are not there, right, in real life, the guy just bails out and is like, nah, is that really you on that picture? What in the hell is wrong with people? And then they have the nerve to get upset about it. Really? You should be upset at yourself. That was on you. You did it to yourself. Don't blame the guy if he walked out on you because you pretended to be something, pretended to look like something that has nothing to do with what you really look like, to make you appear more beautiful, more attractive, or whatever. It doesn't. People. Oh my God, I don't understand what's wrong with people sometimes. But it's funny though. I'll tell you, it's funny. I get a good laugh out of it. So perhaps someone is getting a chuckle or two as well, because you have to laugh at these things. So yeah, the whole point of the video is this stuff has to end. This I am all for. I'm not a fan of. Me. I'm not a fan of government. Putting their nose where it doesn't belong, and you know taking things away from people and things like that. But that I am totally for it. Ban all of those facial filters. Get rid of them all. Because that's some BS. Because that stuff, the harm that these does to people, generally speaking, on a psychological level, that alone should be reason enough for there to be laws to not allow this type of thing to exist. And the only issues and instances where that kind of stuff should be allowed to be used is perhaps in the entertainment business, Like if you're like, I don't know, if you're like modeling for a living, or and that's how you make money, and they put the pictures on magazines and things like that, or movies and things like that, then yeah, that's fine. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's a movie. It's not real, right? It's a magazine to marketize things like that. That's fine. I don't care. But when it applies to people on a personal level, into their own lives, that shouldn't be a thing. It's messed up. That's my opinion, though. Feel free to disagree. You know, we're all allowed, entitled to have our own opinion on things. My opinion is these things are harmful and they shouldn't be allowed to be available to everyone, because the amount of damage this is doing to the younger population in general, men and women, this is going to be spoken about generations from now, if we're still around. And this is really all I wanted to talk about today. It's time to it's time to get rid of this fake stuff. This fakery's gotta go. It's gotta end, because it's out of control. It's way too real. And we all know it's not. So if you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. And it means a lot to me. Thank you all for watching. And I will catch you all on the next one. Take care, my friends.